my direct experience and perspective is that when you start to push harder to get out of what we used to call pilot stage, when something is consistently working, it's, well, this stuff really costs a lot of money, because they see a lot of, I used to call it the cool stuff, right? I want the cool stuff. Well, that costs a lot of money. And it really doesn't, because the trade-off to that is both not capturing that improvement in reliability and uptime and performance, but it's also the kind of grossly inefficient of the analog and manual ways of doing things. But there's a comfort in not taking that step. And I think oil and gas, and for certainly justifiable reasons, because it is, in my opinion, uniquely complex in its randomness and variability. It's a really, really hard set of problems to solve relative to other simpler or cleaner examples where you have a sterile manufacturing environment, for example, compared to, an upstream operation in 10,000 feet of water way out in remote West Texas.
You really need a strong internal champion, no matter, whether it's you work with us, you're working with internally, you're working with somewhere else. You need a really strong internal champion. I'd say, because, we have a lot of cases where we've been successful at the places that we've gone, which is makes us very proud of that. However, as you go in, and the first time you tell somebody that they have a valve problem on a recip compressor because their adiabatic efficiency is dropped by 50%, because their mass flow balance is off between cylinders, because the pressure ratio is dropped on cylinder 1 versus cylinders 2 and 3, right? People shut down on listening to that. And they go back to, we always go out and we take a thermal gun and we shoot the valve temperatures on the machine out in the field. And so one of the cases that we're going to talk about, they went out and shot the valve temperatures on the field, and they were within spec. And they said, well, there's no problem with this machine. So they came back. The issue was they did it in the winter. And sure enough, it was colder coming in, it's colder coming out, right? But then it failed, and then we built confidence. The other was, we had another customer, and we would use machine learning and predict vibration, and we would see it going up, and we were able to find small changes in vibration. We waited a long time, and they were starting to be what we considered significant. We would tell the site, hey, you've had a shift here. Can you go out and take a spectrum, not shut it down? Let's understand what this is causing this. And again, the first pass, the boots on the ground would say something along the lines of, well, nothing and nothing is still nothing. And you're right. And I used to joke, until it becomes something, right? And so now, after, a lot of being proven right, we're finding real things and helping them get ahead of it so that they could plan when there was actually an opportunity outage, and doing the work when it didn't impact actual production. Now we no longer get those kind of questions from those kind of sites. But to get across that first hurdle of being able to have people actually listen to it all the way through and see it all the way through, you need a strong internal champion. Lots and lots of examples where, another customer of ours actually, funny enough, said that we're too fancy for them, until they started seeing, well, we're actually catching mundane things, right? It's not all, hey, you caught something really exciting. Sometimes you just catch, look, your flow meter's drifted and you're risking surge on the machine. It's kind of boring, right?